backgrounds that are needed to foster children. It comes as figures show there's a disproportionate number of children from diverse backgrounds in care compared to the number of foster carers from the same backgrounds. The Fostering Network charity says keeping children within families of the same background is hugely important to their development. Claudia from Chinner in Oxfordshire was fostered for 5 years and now she regularly takes in children. And she told Sophia Seth why she thinks more people should come forward.
I just always had that sort of interest and passion and desire to do it. And I remember being about 16 and getting all this information and filling out the forms. And then my mum just said, you do know you need to have your own house. And I was like, oh, okay.
In her early 20s, Claudia and her husband started a foster. They took in 2 brothers, who in fact have been with them for over 11 years now.
So initially we were told it's going to be 6 weeks, so, and then 6 months. And then obviously we made it into a long term.
Foster care offers children and young people a safe, loving and nurturing home when they can't live with their birth families. That child could be there for a few weeks, months or long term. According to the Department for Education, latest data shows that 71% of children in care were white and 22% from ethnic minority backgrounds. Let's compare that to the number of registered foster carers. The most recent figures from Ofsted show that in England, 81% were white and 15% were from ethnic minority backgrounds.
Within our community, there's this fear that there's going to be a lot of professionals such as the police or, constant social workers in and out of your house. I mean, I remember growing up and my mum says, make sure you don't bring any trouble to my door. And actually, the stories of how children end up in foster care, it's got nothing to do with the child. Most of the time, it is as simple as that parent could not manage and cope. And that fear is what stops people from even approaching the topic.
Foster care charities have told me this disproportion means that in many instances a baby or young person from an ethnic minority is placed with a white family. Although Claudia believes any caring home for a child is a good thing, there are advantages to placing them with families of similar backgrounds.
People like to say, I don't see skin colour. That's a lie, we do. Whether you like it or not, people don't understand. Stereotypes are something that are inherently in us. So already that child is going to be, whether they are aware of it or not, they are being treated in a particular way. So appearance, skin colour, their hair, our hair is completely different. My hair is part of my identity, for it not to be looked after in a way that it needs to be looked after means that it can break, it gets damaged, you're ripping and stripping away parts of me. And that's what is happening to children that are not being looked after holistically.
Charities agree.
We should do everything that we can to make sure that they're also able to be cared for with their heritage and culture respected, and not just respected, but empowered and ensured and made sure that it's celebrated.
How do you feel that you could attract more foster carers from a diverse background?
I think it comes down to the social care workforce, and I think that's about having social workers who are also from a diverse background, so when they're assessing and recruiting, they have a real understanding of these diverse communities and can relate to them and ensure that they become foster carers.
I've got an array of collection of toys now, which I obviously...
Claudia has faced a few struggles of her own looking after a 15-month-old white baby.
I've had to do my research. Her hair is different to the hair that I've looked after. I've had to realise that I can't put certain products into her hair. Believe it or not, I did not realise.
She also has her own child, Elissy, who's now 8. What's it like having foster brothers and sisters?
It's fun to meet new people and discover new personalities.
Have you spoken to your mum and dad about fostering?
A lot.
What do you know about it?
Well, it's when you're just inviting someone into your home and making them basically a part of your family.
And what do you think about it?
I like it. It's just making new connections with other people.
And do you think you want to foster when you're older?
Definitely.
I would love to see a rise in people from the BAME community going into fostering. And I know that sounds so simplistic, but I really would, because it's not, I think there's just an element of self-fulfillment that you get from being a foster carer. But besides that, there are children that need you. And I think actually there is something that you could give.
Yeah, and her family from Chinna speaking to Sophia Seth. Now, when you think